we could get right into it, right?
So what does it do?
From what I've understood, it like boosts your mitochondria, right? It's called methylene blue.
That's mad.
It's a synthetic compound, but I don't know. I'm just experimenting a bit. Maybe I see like a 10% focus increase or so.
You do?
Yeah, like 10-15%.
You actually notice it?
Yeah, a little bit. But it helps like if you like walk in the sun and like get some movement in and stuff, then you can feel it better.
Wow.
But it's very like subtle, right? So you barely notice that it's working. But
I'm taking ashwagandha and tonga tali.
Okay, nice. Do you notice the effects of ashwagandha? Or?
I think ashwagandha, I'm not so sure. Tonga ali, and have you heard of testosterone?
Yeah.
When I take both of them and also the ashwagandha, I find after like 30 days my testosterone just spikes through the roof.
Oh, really?
Mad.
That's interesting.
Yeah, if you take it for like 60 to 90 days, you feel like pretty solid.
Cool. Yeah. So let's begin. I'm thinking we do some short introductions first. So maybe you tell a little bit about yourself and what you do, and we'll fire away from there.
Amazing. Yeah. So I'm Adam, 24 years old. I run 2 successful e-commerce businesses all throughout Europe, the UK, and the United States. Have a couple of my own brands from doing this, and I've been doing that for 5 years now, full time.
Cool.
And it's enabled me to be here today in Bangkok.
Yeah, that's awesome.
What a lovely city.
Doing a real business at the end of the day. Like what I do, I'm in sales, so I sell like online products and info products, sell for like coaching businesses and courses and so on. But Adam is actually like in the real trenches, like have physical businesses, warehouses set up and all of that stuff. So me and another Spanish friend usually joke around about that you're doing the real business here, right?
Yeah, you joke around about it though, but I mean, everything's going digital these days. So I mean, he's making money from TikTok Shop, right? And he says he wants a physical business, which is fair enough, but digital is the way forward though, I guess.
Yeah, cool. So tell me a little bit about how you got into it, like the Amazon FBA, and like how did you end up with the e-commerce business?
Yeah, so I think a lot of people started e-commerce, specifically Amazon FBA, which is what I do throughout COVID-19. Exactly the same there. I was just doom scrolling through TikTok and seeing a guy my age doing it. He was making maybe, I think like 5-6 grand a month, something like this. And I said to my ex-girlfriend, I was like, we were just like there sitting together. I was like, showing her, I was like, look at this guy. He's my age. Like, I can do that for sure.
Yeah.
Fast forward a couple of weeks down the line, I only had £500 to my name. His mentoring was £500, and I invested the whole thing into the mentoring, which was. It was crazy at the time, to be fair. Even though I had £500 to my name, I still had a Gucci belt, which was mad.
Oh, shit, yeah, that doesn't make any sense.
I had to sell that on, have you heard of Depop?
Yeah.
I had to sell that on Depop and a couple of other things just to sort of get some more working capital for the...
Cool, that's good.
Yeah.
It paid off to sell the Gucci belt.
Yeah, what a waste of money.
Yeah, how was that, like stepping in? Did you feel like you had to step into like the fear or the unknown, or like was that a big step for you to invest in yourself, or how did you feel?
Yeah, initially I was like, is this gonna work? Like at the very beginning I was like that, but as soon as that money had left my account, I was like, well, there's no choice. There's 100% guarantee that this is going to work for me. It might not work for other people, but I'm going to make it work.
Yeah, got it. Okay. So you already had that sort of belief that you were kind of going to make it or figure it out.
Yeah. Straight away. I remember it so clear. And to this day, I don't think I've ever been had so much conviction about something. It was the conviction I had. It was mad.
That's awesome.
I want it back.
Oh, I love that because the first sort of big thing I invested into was like an agency. Sort of, you learn how to run an agency and so on. I was doing some video editing previously, but like inside of that program, right? Like it was so hard because everyone was a beginner. So like the mentors of that program, they had to build so much conviction in everyone. Like they had to you had to check the win channel a lot for the people who didn't have their first client or knew that it was working, people who never ran a business before. So it's also very hard to have that sort of conviction. And the only people who didn't make it inside of the program, they gave up, right? Like they didn't do the proper amount of outreaches. Like even if weeks go by, you get no results, but one day it's just gonna you get the results, right? But the people who didn't make it, they gave up before that day came, right? But for some people, it could take 6 months, to get a proper, real client they could deliver results for get the results, use those results to get other clients. So like,
it's just that first one, right? It's the same with Amazon. Finding that first product was tough.
Yeah.
It didn't take me too long personally, but I've taught people in the past, and they've been, you know, messaging me. They've been like struggling. They've been like, "Oh, I've not found my first product yet." I'm just like, just wait till that first one comes.
Yeah.
Just keep following the process. And fast forward down the line, maybe 4 or 5 months. They find that one, and then next thing you know, they found 10.
Yeah, that's the thing. But it's so important, the mindset aspect of just going into business or doing something on your own, right? I was very lucky inside of this program to have a very, very good mindset course, or like a mindset module of the program. And that really helped me in terms of belief and, just aligning with the version of yourself that you want to become, because that's so important, you know.
And was that at the start of the program?
Yeah, that was the start of the program. It was a bit of a...
Good idea.
I mean, Sam Ovens, I'm not sure if you went through his program, the Consulting Accelerator. So it was like fairly similar to his sort of mindset module, but not as in-depth as Sam's module. But I mean, that mindset module by Sam Ovens, he's a genius. Like, that course is very old. He's kind of one of the OGs in the info product space and so on. But the mindset part of his course is just phenomenal, to be honest. Like, you really learn everything you need to know in order to just dial your mindset in and get all this conviction and really succeed with online business. Because all of it is pretty much mindset at the end of the day.
Yeah, it all starts here.
Yeah.
All starts here.
Yeah, that's what's so interesting about it as well. Like, that's where you got to start. And that's also hard about like coaching or mentoring people or having a course. Like, you really have to dial their mindset in, especially if they're fresh in the game, you know, because they don't have the same sort of conviction. They don't know if it's gonna work. It's just some shit they've seen online at the end of the day.
Exactly.
So,
exactly.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, it became more apparent to me recently, ever since speaking with you guys.
Yeah.
Like, it just really reinforced it into my brain, because I obviously knew that was the case, but since meeting you guys about 2 or 3 weeks ago, it just reinforced that. Like, the next day I just felt on fire, you know?
Yeah. It's nice, you know, like, I think we discuss these topics a lot, and that's really nice because that's what I'm aligned with. I'm so interested in it, you know, in terms of how to use your mind and how to train your mind and why it's important, because it really is useful. Like, just when we spoke the last time when we smoked some shishas, right? Yeah. And we spoke about, what did we speak about? Like belief, or just like a bit about manifestation. I'm not sure exactly what you took action on, but you got like a sale the day after that in terms of your
Exactly.
mentorship.
It was
Tell me a bit about that.
Yeah, it was more just like, maybe the manifestation side, yes, but it installed more conviction and more belief into myself. So before the conversation, I was looking at maybe giving up or closing the program down, because I lost a little bit of interest in it, but perhaps I lost a little bit of interest in it because I lost belief in myself and I wasn't getting clients. I got that belief back. I had some fire left back inside of me, and I was like, before the call, I was like he wants to have a call with me. Like, I can help him. I'm gonna help him.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
There's no other way. There's no other way at all. And what happened? I'm gonna be helping this guy, right?
Yeah, that's pretty cool as well, to make a sale and change someone's life. And it was just, belief at the end of the day as well. It's like one good frame to have when you walk into sales calls, in my opinion, is just to like, I'm just going to try and help this person, right? Like, that's all I'm going to do. I'm going to try to help him in the best way possible. And he's probably going to fight tooth and nails to stay in his comfort zone as well. And I'm going to make sure that he's not doing that if this is the right thing for him. So that's also a very good frame to have into going into the sales calls, because it can be, you know, a bit of pressure and you're overthinking it and so on. So just hop on the call, whatever outcome it is, doesn't matter. I'm just going to try and help him in the best way that I can.
And how's your journey been with sales calls? From when you first started to now, you've obviously been on a journey, right?
Yeah.
I think it's impacted you personally as well, right?
Yeah, for sure. Like, I just made a decision to step out of my agency, because like, it's pretty hard to do all of the service delivery, getting clients, and like managing all on your own. And I just thought, like, why not just go and master the most fundamental skill there is in business, right? Which is sales at the end of the day. And I resonated with my current mentor a lot, like Alex, because he had a lot of videos where he was also running an agency prior to going into sales, and was like, he got some pretty good months, right? But at the end of the day, he kind of failed with it, or like it was hard to sustain it. Like, same as me, it's hard to get clients and deliver and do all of this and manage all of this stuff. So the natural choice was just to go into sales, because he had a similar story, right? So I was like, okay, let's do it. So I just went full time into sales. just started outreaching, managed to come across my good friend Lucas nowadays. So I worked within his business for a while. Lucas Heidenbeck, a Swedish fitness coach. And I'm very lucky to have a lot of good like sales managers and sales mentors along the way. So I think I've had very, very rapid progress in like 6 to 7 months when it comes to sales. Of course, probably 1 million things left to learn. But the development, the self-development, taking accountability, you learn a lot in sales. Like it's not as beautiful as they paint it online. You just sit on the beach and take a few sales calls and you make 15K a month, right? Mm-hmm. It's like it really is the trenches at the end of the day. Like you got to work hard, you got to be super hungry. The people in this space, the real ones that are in this space, they're killers. They're hungry, they're putting in the work. So it's not an easy path, but it's a fun path because it's the most fundamental aspect of business, just sales, being able to sell shit, run your own coaching business at some point, or sell whatever, really. Like,
is that the goal?
I'm not sure. Like my primary goal is just to help people in some way, shape, or form, like raise their consciousness or like just improve humanity in the biggest scale that I can. I think that's what I'm most drawn to.
It needs it.
Yeah, it needs it, and it gives you a lot back. That's how I used to feel as well when I was like, just to give some backstory of that. Like when I was younger, I never really felt that I wanted to work with people or help people. I just wanted some job that was making a decent amount of money and work as little as possible, right? So I was like in the mines and stuff, and I was doing the mining job for a couple of years in Sweden. But I came to the conclusion that there's like really no purpose to this. I'm just making some rich guy richer, right? Just mining some minerals like some zinc and copper.
Like on the ground, huh?
Yeah, like operating heavy machinery. But like there's no purpose to it. Of course, like you can make a phone out of the cobalt or about the parts that we find. It's not a cobalt mine, but you can make like, stuff like that, electronics and stuff. But at the end of the day, it's just about making someone else way more rich that's already very rich. So like I just thought there's no purpose to this. I need to do something else. And that's when I quit and just try to figure things out.
Nice.
So yeah. And now I just feel like, it's really cool to work with people. Like once you've done that in some aspect, you kind of see the value of it and the importance of it, and you want to continue doing that because it gives you a lot back, to help someone else. Like with the mentoring, for example. Like when you mentor someone.
Yeah. When I mentor someone, especially when they start getting results as well, it's a crazy feeling. I've helped, I think, 3 people quit their jobs now, and it's proper. Yeah,
when you think about it, isn't that pretty crazy, right?
It is mad.
Yeah.
Just before coming here, I had just a random message from a mentee who hasn't messaged me in a while, and he just said, secured my first exclusive brand deal, and it's taken him a while to do that, maybe like 12 months.
Nice.
And that should make him a couple grand a month, which is it's amazing.
Yeah, that's awesome. Like this must be a crazy feeling. There's so many people who are stuck in lives that they don't want to exist in, right? Living and working with stuff that they don't like. Especially now, it's super apparent when I'm dialing a lot in the sales offer. Like these are the people I speak to on a daily basis. So you kind of gotta detach from that a little bit because it's a lot of like emotion and energy, and people are very frustrated and they feel bad about the situation and they don't really know what to do, or they don't take action on something. They have a super bad mindset around it. Everything is a scam, and a lot of them at least. And that can affect you as well when you speak with them a lot.
Yeah, it wears off on you a little bit, huh?
Yeah, a little bit. But you got to try and detach from that. Like that's sales at the end of the day. You got to be able to handle that. Especially in this B2C sort of offer, BizUp, helping people launch businesses. It's always going to be like that. But yeah. So like when it comes to Amazon, right? Like what's your sort of unique angle on it? Because of course, like there's a lot of mentors out there, a lot of people just selling courses, selling mentorships. Like what's your angle with the Amazon?
Yeah, so you've probably seen Amazon online, Amazon FBA. Everybody teaches the same old crap. The same old crap. And then people go ahead and sell the exact same thing. And has anybody heard of penny pinching, races to the bottom and things like this? You've heard this?
Yeah.
That's where it comes from, because people are teaching the same things, and then the people which are learning it are doing the same things, and therefore it leads to saturation, and everybody's selling the same product, and then there's just no room to compete.
Yeah.
We focus on things differently. So I mentioned something called exclusivity then, which is working directly with manufacturers and brands, and exclusivity is what it says on the tin. You're the only person to work with that brand, so therefore you're not competing with anyone. You don't have the races to the bottom and things like this, which is one unique aspect of what we teach clients and what we do as a business as well. Second one is we have our own brands on the Amazon platform. We've got about 4 or 5 of them, and again, that's exclusive. That's ours. That's our intellectual property, and nobody can come and sell that exact product either, unless we sell it to them, of course. But
okay, cool.
I won't be doing that.
Yeah, nice. So it's like, because I think a lot of people have the mind frame that a lot of business models are saturated.
They're all saturated, right? Like, you just need to find a way to make money within it, right? And you need to be different from 90% of people, because 90% of people aren't getting results. So if you're doing the same thing as them,
exactly, you got to stand out, right? Like every single business model, like you say, is saturated at the end of the day, but you just got to be better than everyone else.
Even like AI or TikTok Shop, like these two things are quite new.
Yeah,
there's tons of people doing that now as well. Thousands and thousands of people. But there's new ways of doing it. There's new ways to make a video to hook people in. New trends all the time on TikTok and things like that. It's the same with everything.
Yeah, that's the fun part as well. You just got to find a way to stand out, right? Like no matter what you do. And that also highlights the importance of a mentor, because you'll know exactly what to do in order to stand out and make it work. Because a lot of people, they just go ahead and try to figure it out on their own. But
yeah. I like the video you sent me the other day of that Bob Proctor. He followed everything within the book, and it kind of took me back to when I first started. That's what I did. I followed everything that was taught to me, and I didn't really deviate from it until I started to get a little bit of results. And I started to tweak a couple of things, put my own twist on things. Yeah. But the basic principle was, I followed everything that was taught.
Yeah, like it's so simple. Like Bob Proctor says himself, like all you have to do to achieve something that you want to achieve is find someone who's already done it, and you do precisely what they tell you to do. Simple. Until you get to your goal, or until you prove yourself wrong that it doesn't work. Mm-hmm. And most people don't do that. Even if they buy a mentor or buy a course or whatever, they don't follow it to a T. And that's why they don't get the results.
I've had people, right, that have invested in my mentorship before. God bless them. Like basically, they invested in it. I teach one strategy, and then the next thing they do is they message me and then about some sort of private label and creating their own brand. I'm just like, have you watched the course or not? And they'd watched it, and I was like, where have you got this idea from, man? Like, this is crazy.
That's the thing with mentoring beginners as well. And if you're going to mentor people at a large scale, it's very hard to get all of the sheep in line, right? Because you got to keep them in check, because it's natural to just start thinking about other shit. But you got to just tell them, do what he says, right? Yeah. Don't think about it, just do it. Do precisely what I tell you to do, and you'll get the result.
Mm-hmm.
What
a guy. What a guy, Bob Proctor.
Yeah, indeed. Like, what's your favorite read, probably, like, in terms of books and so on? Like, what's your favorite book?
In terms of books, I've read How to Win Friends and Influence People many, many times.
Yeah.
That was my favorite book, but I'm not sure if it is so much anymore. I do put it in the top 3. I think Atomic Habits is probably my favorite. Main reason being I implement a lot of it into my daily life, and it helps me massively. Yeah. It was probably the best.
Yeah.
What about yourself?
Both of them are great. I must say again, still, like Think and Grow Rich, because it's just so simple and straightforward. And if you read that book, you'll know precisely what to do in order to get your goals. Same thing here, as long as you take action on it. And like, this is also a book that you have to read over and over again. I think I read it like 3 times, which is probably not enough, because I haven't applied everything that's in the book, right? So I could probably read it 10 more times. But it really has everything that you need. I remember I read it the first time. I was in the mines when I bought it. And I read it in the mines, and I was like, wow, like all of this is very, very good information, but I still have zero direction of what to do, you know? Even though I understand all of these concepts. For me personally, it was just very hard to understand, like, what am I going to do? Like, what sort of path am I going to take? What vehicle works for me? Like, what do I want to do? And I think I was stuck in that sort of limbo, like, for a very long time. I don't know what to start with. I know I want to do it, but what am I going to do?
Right?
Yeah, like eventually I just joined Hustlers University, right? Because maybe I learned something in there. Andrew Tate screaming at me. So I was like, okay, let's check it out. It's like $50. So I went into there and started to do some affiliate marketing, and didn't really make any money, tried some copywriting, this and that, went into video editing, then went into the agency. So everything, like one thing leads to another, right?
Yeah, eventually you find something that you like.
Yeah, so I just started with something, just tried something. But like, what would you say to those people who feel like they're kind of stuck, you know, don't know where to start. They know they want to make money online, but like, where do I start? Like, what do I do, you know?
It doesn't matter where you start. You can start with anything. Like, whether you like it or not, the business that you decide to get into, more than likely, if you make it a success, it's going to be making more than you actually make in your job, right?
Yeah.
Is that already not better? You working on your terms and earning more money, is that not already making your life better?
Yeah.
So first of all, there's that. Then you can grow that business to a certain extent. Depending what business it is, you can either sell it, get a lump sum of cash, or you can systemize it and, you know, still be making a recurring income, but there it doesn't actually involve much of your time. And then what can you do with your time? You can spend it on things that you enjoy, and ideally start making money from things that you enjoy.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I like music, for example. Maybe when my Amazon business is all said and done, I've sold it or I've systemized it enough to where it's making a shit ton of money and I don't have to lift a finger.
Yeah.
Maybe I can start to run music events, something along those lines.
Like,
I don't know.
That's the fun part as well. I think that's also one of the end goals of money. You can just do whatever you want and test cool projects and figure it out, right?
Exactly.
Like start some music project if that's what you like to do, but that's impossible without any sort of money. So it opens a lot of opportunities, right, to make some money. But yeah, in my opinion as well, when it comes to like starting with online business, it's like you say, just finding something that you kind of align with. I think like you should actually enjoy it to some extent, and you should also pay close attention to the end goal, right? Like the people who are doing this that I'm looking to do I want to live like their sort of existence, and do I want to like do the same thing as them? Like no matter what job it is, if you're gonna become a lawyer, a chef, or you're gonna start with some online business stuff, you gotta look at the end product, right, before you start with anything. Otherwise, like you might get to your sort of goal, but you don't enjoy it, right? That's very important.
Have you heard of the Ikigai? Have you heard of Ikigai? Yeah. It kind of plays down to that a little bit, doesn't it? You need to find something that, like, don't quote me on everything because I don't fully know, but I know somewhat. You need to find something that you like, something that you can profit from, and something that, I don't know, help me out here.
Yeah, like purpose-driven, like that sort of stuff. Yeah, I've seen that as well. But that's also hard. I thought about the Ikigai for a while, but that's not easy, I think, to find that sort of approach.
There's always one thing that's missing, right?
Yeah. It can take a long time to figure that one out. That's some Japanese stuff, right?
Yeah.
Cool.
This is Japanese stuff as well.
Yeah, is it?
Yeah.
Okay, interesting. I didn't know. So, like, when it comes to your current morning routine and so on, like, how do you structure your mornings?
I'm up very early. I'm up at 5:30 most days.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, and
locked in.
Yeah, I mean, I have calls with people, like friends and things. And they're like, "You're crazy. You're in Bangkok. You know, relaxing, taking some time off." I was like, "I didn't come here for relaxation or anything like this. I came here to live the same life I do in the UK, but just be around different people, better weather, and just a different culture altogether."
Yeah.
So waking up at 5:30, that's just the first win at the end of the day.
Yeah.
It's hard. It's hard doing that. Like I do it like 80%, maybe 90% of the time. I'm human, right? I'm not. Yesterday it was 6:30.
How long have you been doing that?
See, maybe since I was 16.
Oh, shit! So that's
a long time. Yeah. I used to work at Sainsbury's. I used to do a 6-2 shift in the bakery, so I was up at like 4:30.
Okay.
Ready to leave for work at 5:30 and get there for 6. Right. So it's like I'm used to it, and I somewhat like it. I'm not a night owl or anything.
Yeah.
So it starts at 5:30. At the moment, I'm doing a bit of reading and stuff. And then bang, straight to work, maybe a deep work session of like 1 to 1.5 hours.
Yeah.
A minute. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, that's important as well. Like I love to be up early in the morning. Now my schedule is a bit messed up because of time zones and so on, but I'm totally on the trend. Maybe not 6:30, right? But like 7 a.m. That's perfect, I think.
Yeah.
Start your day pretty early.
Indeed. Anything past like 8 o'clock, I just feel like the day's gone almost. You know, It takes you about half an hour to an hour to get into the day and things. I don't know.
I agree. Like you miss a lot, right? Those few hours in the morning. Like it's some sort of peace to that. The mornings in the hours.
It's you time, right?
Yeah, you know you have the whole day in front of yourself. You can just like the world hasn't really woken up yet. You feel like you got like a head start when you're up very early. I feel like
definitely, and I feel like this in the UK. That's why I get up at this time. But since being here, I have even more of that time because we're 6 hours ahead.
Yeah.
So it's fantastic. I still wake up at 5:30, get that extra few hours in the morning, but then I get a further 6 hours.
Yeah.
So when people are waking up, tell them getting tons of emails, tons of Slack messages and
That's
things like
perfect. So you don't do any like crazy habits or routines or so on?
No, I tried meditating for like 4 or 5 months. What do you think of that?
Yeah, I enjoy that. I meditate quite a lot. Now I've kind of fallen off, but for a few weeks I was doing like 40 minutes a day. I need to get back into it. I did like a meditation called the Gateway Experience.
Okay.
It's some like the CIA have studied this stuff, and it's quite interesting because you just kind of learn how to explore your own consciousness, and you also learn how to like transmute your emotions, and like just you just develop a lot by doing this. And it's not like it's hard to do this 40 minutes because it's guided. So you have like you know what to do all of the time. You go through like a set of events to prepare you for the lesson of the day. And the lesson of the day can vary, right? Like one day I learned how to like just all of the kind of emotions that you have underlying that's not like serving you. You learn like how to bring that to the surface, and you can also like explore how to kind of let that go. But at the same time, you also find out like what's the underlying emotion that this emotion is hiding, right? This negative emotion is hiding something positive that you would feel otherwise if you didn't feel this way. Okay. So you learn how to kind of find that out, and you just learn a lot about yourself and your own emotions. And meditation is very interesting and very developing, I think. There's a lot of positive aspects to it. Yeah.
Nice. I don't do anything like that at all. It's just get up, read. I swim now in the morning to wake me up because it's hard to read when you've just woken up at 5:30.
Yeah.
It's hard.
Yeah, I can imagine. Do you do like the coffee instantly or?
No, I wait 1.5 hours.
Okay, that's good.
I'm really strict on that because I think it was Andrew Huberman that said it or something like this. If you have it straight away, then you just slump.
Yeah, it's something with the adenosine receptors, I think, that you like block it too fast, and you shouldn't like do that. It's a bad habit.
Exactly.
I heard. But yeah, like meditation has a lot of positive aspects besides just improving your focus and being like more peace within yourself, and especially in a city like Bangkok, I think it's very important to take like 15-20 minutes out of your day to just reset a little bit. It's important.
I struggled with it because I don't know what it was. I was just there with my eyes closed and I didn't know what to do.
Maybe you should do the guided one. I think that will help you. Yeah, like you can also just lay down. Like there's no rules to meditation as long as like you find something that suits you. It's not like you have to sit in the lotus posture, right?
Yeah.
Just find some approach that works for you. But I highly recommend it, like the Gateway Experience. To be honest, it's if you want, but you have to dedicate yourself to it. Like you can't do it for one day and then you just.
Of course.
You have to put in the work like 40 minutes a day, but you're going to develop a lot like consciously and awareness in the awareness aspect, right, by just doing that. So it's good stuff. I can send that over to you if you want to give it a shot.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
You learn a lot about yourself. Like that's the important and the interesting thing about it.
Nice.
In terms of how you think and how you feel and how to transmute emotions, and like the end goal of it, I think, is to detach from your body, right, and do astral projection. I don't know if you know what astral projection is.
I don't.
It's when you physically leave your own body. So
I think they were talking about this in transurf, reality transurfing.
Yeah, they might have. I haven't read the full book yet, so I'm not sure. But I'm sure they have. But it's about basically when you're that deep into meditation, you can step out of your own body, right? So you physically feel like you're kind of lifting. If you're laying down like this, you feel like you're lifting and kind of moving away from your body. And I was close to achieving that once. I felt it. I was laying down, but I felt that I was physically leaving my own body. But to go into the astral, right, this sort of other spiritual dimension, you can't move into that sort of dimension with any sort of fear or anything. And as soon as I felt that, I got a bit of fear. Boom, straight back.
Put in the place, huh?
Yeah, pull the plug. But that's very deep. I think you'll learn how to do that in the Gateway Experience. But I mean, that shouldn't be the purpose of it either. Just
crazy, bro.
Go into with an open mind.
Yeah. I'll definitely take a look at it for sure.
Yeah, do it. It's interesting. You also learn how to just protect your own energy as well. Like, it's just very basic concepts that you can use throughout the day, if you pay attention to them, if you actively use them.
Yeah, because your energy's getting sucked by everyone all day, every day, right?
Yeah. That's the thing. Like, you got to be very aware of what you spend your energy on and
your
what
people,
you do.
the food that you put in your mouth, everything, right?
Yeah. That's true. I was thinking about that yesterday as well. Back when I used to have a girlfriend, right? And used to like stay with her, for example. It's very hard, I think, because at the same time, like living with someone, I feel like you need kind of a pretty big house or a big place, right? Because you spend a lot of mental energy just like thinking about the other person or getting the impression of the other person. You probably notice this yourself now that you're alone in Bangkok. You get a lot of mental space to simply just think, you know?
So much.
And when you're around other people, that is very difficult. Even if it's like your family or girlfriend or whoever it is, like you lose a lot of that sort of mental space unless you actively take it.
If someone's there, you can't think clearly. It doesn't matter who it is, right?
No. It's like an interruption. I mean, that's why they also have like libraries and stuff. Because you go there and you do one thing and no one disturb you. Even if you're deep into reading and someone comes into the room, like that interrupts it.
And you can't get back. You can't get back reading.
You can't just instantly get back. It takes time, right?
23 minutes, I think it's the.
Oh shit! Is that long?
Yeah, this is why I put emphasis on the deep work sessions, like an hour and a half. Phone do not disturb across the room. Actually, set a timer for it as well, because like, if I look at a notification, straight after it takes 23 minutes to get to the flow point that you were at.
Oh,
that's
damn.
what I think it's. Flow or deep work, the book.
Okay, it takes that long. That's crazy.
Apparently.
I haven't read that book. Is it a good book?
Yeah, it's pretty good. But like, I mean, I just got the principle from reading the title. Really, just deep work. Put your phone on do not disturb and throw it across the room. Like that's all you really need to do.
Yeah, that's true. You shouldn't overthink stuff.
I think it just waffles a bit in the book.
Yeah, for sure. It's so easy to get into a flow state now that I'm doing sales. To be honest, like 4 hours just pass.
Flies by.
Yeah, when you talk to people, you know, it's very easy to be in a flow state when you're in a conversation most of the times. And 4 or 5 hours can pass very fast when you speak to people. It's harder when you have to sit down and do some boring task, right, that you really don't want to do. Or
admin work.
Yeah, that's something.
No one wants to do that.
Yeah, that's the thing. But yeah, I mean, like, I want to ask you a question as well. Maybe it's a tough one, but like, if you can recall like the best sort of piece of advice that you've gotten just in general, like what would you say that has been?
Oh, the best piece of advice.
One of the best. It doesn't have to be the best.
Gotten. It's a tough one. It's a tough one, bro.
Yeah.
You weren't wrong.
One good piece of advice then. It doesn't have to be the best, right? Something that you just applied and used.
One comes to my mind right now. Perhaps it's not the best, but it's a very good piece, and it's very simple, and it's just ask. I've made many mistakes in the past where I've lost tens of thousands of pounds, and that's because I've not asked. Asked who? You may ask. Anybody. Mentor, your girlfriend, your brothers, anybody. Just ask. Like, I just didn't think about it, right? I have many mentors. Like, I've got a lovely girlfriend. I've got a bunch of good friends, everything.
Yeah.
And I go and make the decision myself. I mean, it's a big decision. Like, well, why?
Yeah.
Why? I think I'm perfect. I think I'm amazing or something.
In terms of like what situation? Like
many. So one that comes to my mind is I bought a machine about 6 or 7 months ago, which I just completely rushed into, didn't do much research and didn't consult with anybody. I was like, yeah, we need this machine. It's going to increase our production massively. And I sort of like sold myself on it. Like the guy that was selling it didn't even sell me on it. He just said, this is what it is. It can do this much. But I didn't research his company. I didn't consult with anyone that's an expert, anyone that has a machine like this before. I didn't contact anybody else. Just rushed straight into it.
Okay.
I didn't ask at all.
Oh shit. Yeah, it's important. I've gotten that concept as well, but maybe in a different way when it comes to ask more. I got that from Robin Sharma. I'm not sure if you know who that is.
No idea.
He wrote the book The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari, for example. He wrote the book, some other books, but that's the main one that I've read from him. And in one of his books, I can't recall which one it was, but he simply just said, just ask for more, you know? Just ask people. I've tried that, and it kind of works, you know, when it comes to, like, just getting more things. Like the example that he put, which was pretty interesting, is like when he's on a plane, right? He likes to drink a lot of water, but he always give you like a little cup of water like this.
Yeah, what is that about?
Yeah, I don't know, but he always do that. So always on the plane, he just asked him like, "Can I get a full big water bottle because I like to drink a lot of water?" And they just give it to him.
You don't ask, you don't get, right?
Yeah, so he just asks for way more in his life, like with everything that he does, and just gets way more.
And it's what I say to my clients as well, like, ask me as much as possible. I found that the people that have had the most success is the ones that ask me the most questions.
Yeah.
Don't think you're annoying for asking. Like, if you invest in a mentor, and for example, if you have any mentors, if you've paid for that service,
That's what you're paying for, right?
Make the most of it. Be the most annoying person in that group, because you're gonna succeed. Don't care about anybody else.
Yeah.
Ask.
Sure. That's so important. Let's check the recording.
Yeah.
I can cut it here. It's been like 30 minutes. Thank God it's recording.
Bosh.
Sweet.
Amazing.
All right. You want to do some questions or?
Sure.
Okay.
But I'm gonna throw a question to you.
Yeah, let's do it. Let me just unwire this and we'll make a cut here. Sweet. Okay.
So, question back to you. The exact same question.
Yeah.
What is the best piece of advice that you've ever received?
The best piece of advice is probably hard to answer, right? But I mean, one good piece of advice that I kind of carried with me was initially by Denzel Washington, actually. He made some speech I saw on YouTube for a few years back, like when he was speaking to like some graduates in the US. And I can't like recall it word by word, right? But like something that he said just kind of stuck with me, and that was like no matter what you do, just you just shoot for more, you know, just try shit, like go at it, go after it, like try it. If it doesn't work out, then it doesn't matter, because if you don't try, you're gonna regret it, right? And especially when you're at your sort of deathbed. So he painted a picture of laying on the deathbed, and he said like, just imagine that you're on your deathbed, right? And around your deathbed is just the ghosts of everything that you could have become, right? If you just pushed for more or tried more shit. And they're looking down at you on your deathbed, and they're saying like, we came to you because you could have brought us to life, they said. And like, the only reason that you didn't bring them to life is because you didn't try and push, right? Because you didn't like bet on yourself and you didn't take the risks. And that was just something that stuck with me all of the time, you know. Just, I don't want to be on my deathbed having a regret, you know, that I was too afraid to try it. Just try it. Like, this is, at the end of the day, this is just like a video game, you know. Like, what's the worst thing that can happen? Especially if you're from like a Western country, and like, there's nothing that really can go to shit by just trying.
Yeah, there was a study done from the University of California.
Yeah.
They asked like hundreds and hundreds of people on their deathbed what their biggest regret was, and it was just simply that they didn't take action on the things that they wanted to do. Like,
yeah, and that's so crazy, right? When you think about that, because like I said, it's just, why are people so serious with it, with life and their like job and everything? Like, I think people take stuff way too serious, just to fucking try some shit. Like, what can happen, you know? At the end of the day, like, you just go back to where you are.
Exactly. You got to take your ego out of it as well. If things went south for me, I wouldn't have any problem moving back into my parents' house and living off them. I would just start, rebuild again, and do it 10x more. I mean, when Donald Trump's gone bankrupt twice, hasn't he?
Yeah.
I mean, look at him.
I mean, people have a very fragile mindset. I think they're thinking way too small, and that's the issue with it, because where you are now, you've already acquired a skill set to be in that sort of position. So you shouldn't be afraid to leave that position and pursue something else, because you can always go back to it. It's not like your job is going to disappear. Whoa, someone else is going to take it and it's never going to be there again. Like, don't you trust in the universe enough to just know that you're going to figure it out and you can at least go back to your current situation? Like, don't you believe in it that much? Like, no, maybe I end up in a worse spot. I've never heard someone quit their job or get fired and get into a worse position. I've never heard it. My dad has been fired like 3 times. Every time his life has just improved.
It's usually a blessing in disguise.
Yeah, every time.
The story of the Chinese farmer, right?
Yeah. I haven't heard that one. What is that?
So basically, this farmer, right? He has a horse, and his horse goes missing, and all the neighbors and things like this are like, oh my gosh, this is terrible. And he says, maybe not.
Yeah.
And then the next day, the horse comes back with more horses, like more wild horses.
Oh.
And then all the neighbors are like, oh, this is amazing. And he says, maybe not.
Yeah.
Because the day after that, his son's riding one of them horses and he breaks his leg. And then again, like, oh, terrible. And then finally the next day, he's broken his leg. Then the army come to recruit some people a couple of weeks later. And then what did he do? They skip out of his son because he's got a broken leg.
Oh, damn. Okay.
I heard Dan Bilzerian say it on the Joe Rogan podcast.
Okay.
It was great. Yeah.
That's interesting. That's a blessing in disguise.
Yeah, everything always happens for a reason.
Yeah. That mindset is something you really got to have, that everything happens for a reason, you know. It just makes life way more simple. But it's also, like, it's easy to be cocky to say that, but imagine if you like ended up in a wheelchair or something, then I think it would be quite hard to maintain that sort of
It would be
mindset.
extremely hard, right? Extremely hard. But I've seen like a guy online that's got no arms and no legs, and he's managed to become super famous, and I bet he's making a shit ton of money now.
Okay.
But, yeah.
It's always what you make it, right?
Yeah.
You just got to put things into perspective. Like, everything happens for a reason. And like, no matter what bad shit happens to you, there's always some guy who has it worse, you know. So you can always have that sort of mindset.
I think it's always hard to see in the moment, though, that something good's gonna come when something terrible has happened. Like, everybody's instant thought is just negativity, right? But
Indeed.
yeah, give it a day or so.
Yeah.
Dwell on it for a day, but don't spend any more longer than that. You'll send yourself down a hole.
And the importance of just positive thinking as well. Like, you can have, even if your situation is not that fun, you can have the best life in the world if you just learn how to think positively, right? Mm-hmm. If you manage to get to that version of yourself where you see everything from a positive light, your existence is going to be very, very good, I think. But the difficult part is going there, right? And achieving that. But imagine, like, if you had that sort of positive mindset, you just saw everything from a positive light. Like, nothing can go to shit, really, for that person. And imagine the opportunities and the abundance he would attract, just always being in this positive state and this high vibration. And, like, it's crazy when you think about it.
Depression doesn't become a thing from there, right?
Yeah, no, it really doesn't. It just highlights the importance of it.
Yeah.
I spoke about this with Ehab as well, and I read it in Reality Transurfing, that it's quite interesting that, just touch back on that a bit, that you can be like in the exact same existence as someone else, even if you were working at like Sainsbury's or whatever. It's always what you make it, right? So even if there's people there who like hate their job, imagine the guy who just sees the positive in everything that he does, right? His existence is going to be 10 times better. Like, no matter where he's at or what he's doing, it doesn't mean that you should settle for less, right? But it just means that, like, everything is what you make it. And like your whole existence or wherever you're at, people are complaining about the UK, complaining about Sweden, but it's also what you make it, right?
Well, yeah, for sure. The UK can be amazing, right? You can make a ton of money, move to the countryside, have some kids, get a wife. Like, you have a solid time.
Yeah, of course. Same with Sweden, you know. Like, super grateful for that country as well. Grew up there and had a childhood there. And yeah, I mean, everything is what you make it.
Yeah. There's a lot of people leaving Sweden now as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's like thousands of millionaires leaving the UK. It's crazy.
Yeah, more in the UK, I think, but it's bigger as well, right? Like, more millionaires.
But it's the biggest in the world, more than Moscow, more than Russia, more than everywhere.
In terms of millionaires leaving, or
yeah,
okay.
It's crazy.
Yeah, but it's about the politics as well, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah,
I guess so.
Unfortunately, they're not aligned, and especially the taxes and stuff in Europe. Like, that's not a fun aspect of it. Like, why would you stay? You know, at the end of the day, if you have everything online and you know that you can just pay like 40% less tax, then
this is a benefit of the digital side and not the physical side.
That's
right?
true. That's true. You're kind of locked in a different way in terms of paying taxes and so on. But it's hard. I can imagine it's hard to stay loyal when you're making millions of pounds, right? Getting hit with that tax bill.
It's hard.
Indeed. I guess, like, when it comes to habits and so on, like, what are some things that you do to kind of just keep these good habits up, because you've been waking up early for years, right, and doing all this stuff?
Yeah. So the waking up is a big one for sure. The deep work sessions, I'm on Do Not Disturb all the time. like all of the time. My mum rings me, my girlfriend calls me, like more often than not they don't get an answer. But I do check my phone. Like I'm not a saint. Like in the mornings where I won't touch it, but like after midday I'll be on my phone.
Yeah.
You know, often-ish.
Yeah.
So I will see it. Like if you call me and you don't get an answer, it's fine. Like just WhatsApp me after or whatever. That's helped out massively, because if I want to do something, I'll just do it, and no disturbances ever. That's a big one. Food is become more apparent over the past 12 months than anything. You know, not eating till midday. When you do eat little carbs. Save the carbs towards the end of the day.
Yeah.
Because it just slows you down. That's another huge one.
Okay.
Exercise has always been a fundamental part of my life since the age of 4 or 5. I played football. I went to taekwondo when I was like 10, 11 years old. Boxing and things like this. That's helped out massively as well.
Yeah, that's really important, especially with the food aspect as well, right?
Yeah.
It's like people don't know how good they can feel if they're just eating the right way and get some sleep, you know?
Man, you see all the preservatives, the palm oils and things like this in UK, in Sweden, here in Thailand. I think it's even worse if you go to 7-Eleven down there. Like the amount of crap in their food is crazy. Yeah, paleo rubby. If you.
It was kind of funny as well. My grandma was like, isn't everyone skinny in Asia, in Thailand?
Yeah.
Because I was like taking a picture of some fat person or something. She's like, "Well, they're fat over there." I'm like, "Yeah, grandma, it's not like the '60s, you know."
Yeah.
Of course, they have fat people here. Like a lot of obesity here as well in terms of eating processed foods, and like you can just see in 7-Eleven, like, man, you everything here is just poison, pretty much.
You can see on the people as well. Like, I mean, I think it has the. I think Jose or you said this. They have the lowest testosterone in the world, or
I think
one of
so.
them?
I'm not sure, but it's down there, right? Like Japan and in Asia.
But it's all from the food.
Yeah, 100%.
And again, the higher your testosterone is, the more productive you're going to be, the more success the more money you're going to make. The higher your testosterone is, I think. Yeah.
I mean, the food part is so interesting. Like, there's so many approaches to it, and like, what's the right one? And there's also like so many studies in the world of what is right, what is wrong. This is healthy, this is not healthy. You should eat seed oils because it's better for your heart. But one thing you gotta keep in mind, right, is that every single study that you read about nutrition, about health, all this stuff is all paid for, you know.
It's an everything, right? Yeah.
So like there is really no like blueprint or anyone that can tell you that this is the way, this is the correct way to eat. The only thing that you can speak and like base your experience on is your own experience. So you got to try it out and see how it feels, see how it works, because none of what they tell you is true.
You can't even listen to what the doctors say.
No.
Like I was finding it hard to try and explain this to my girlfriend, right? And she said something about the doctor, and I was like, you can't just listen to what the doctors say.
Yeah.
Like you said, the studies are paid for. Where did the doctors learn from? They learn from the studies in the medical book. But what gets put into that is these paid for studies, which sometimes are like fake and things like this. They're paid for just for profit, right?
Yeah.
Just for profit. But the doctor's not doing anything wrong. He's just reading the information which has been given to him, right?
Yeah, and that's crazy as well, because like I've been working on a health offer, right? I've been selling on a health offer, and like a lot of people I speak to, they have like some chronic issues, a lot of just the health issues in general. And like they go to the doctor, they tried everything, but like the last thing that the doctors look at is your diet, which is probably the first thing you should look at.
The first thing, yeah.
The first thing that they do is just prescribe you some pill to like get the symptom away, which is to me that is just so fundamentally wrong. It's so flawed, the whole system.
Diabetes pills, antidepressants, all this stuff can be fixed from food.
Yeah,
from
that's the crazy part. It's all from your food.
Food and exercise.
Yeah, like everything, like all the cancer, everything that you can get, right? It's just based on what you eat, pretty much.
Mm-hmm. You are what you eat.
Yeah, you are what you eat, yeah.
You are.
So it's so important. Like now when I eat, like, let's say I eat one meal a day, like 1,300 calories, grass-fed beef, highest quality everything, maybe some raw dairy, raw butter, raw milk. I eat that sort of meal, I can last the whole day. Even if I'm training, I can do martial arts.
Right?
Even if it's like 10 p.m., 9 p.m., like shit, I forgot to eat. You know, I can pass like 12 hours to do 2 training sessions just eating one meal like that, because it's so nutritionally dense. So like you can last on that stuff. And imagine if you, like, that's why calories in, calories out is bullshit as well, because it's all about the quality of the food that you eat. I mean, I've probably said this to you before, like let's say you eat like 3 normal eggs, right? And these have a set amount of calories. But let's say you eat like 1 pasture-raised, the best sort of quality egg that you can find, like from your farmer neighbor, for example. The nutritional value of this egg is going to be the same as these eggs. So even if you eat 3 of these, you get the same amount of nutrition as in 1 of these eggs. And it has 1/3 of the calories as well. So that's why calories doesn't matter, because it's all about the quality of the food that you eat. So all these bodybuilders, they say like calories in, calories out. Sure. But if you would imagine if you would count your calories, but at the same time you eat the highest quality food that you can find while counting your calories.
It takes so much mental energy, I think, as well, to count your calories.
It does.
I've never done it, but it just doesn't appeal to me, really. I'm in okay shape now. And I've been in okay shape for like 10 years, I don't know, something like this. So,
but it's a bulletproof way of gaining weight, right?
I guess.
And if you don't pay attention to the calories, but you pay attention to the calories and the quality of the food that you eat, like that's when you're actually gonna feel better and gain some weight.
Serious gains, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. It's so important, I think.
What's your goals at the moment with the gym? Is it just to get bigger, or?
Yeah, just gain weight, get into a better shape, post more content, I think. Maybe like, I don't know, just grow my health brand a bit, sell something around health, just help people, you know, and just see what I'm kind of capable of. I'm making good gains in the gym now, doing good progress, so that's fun as well. Scale is going up. And that's thanks to a mentor as well, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, always like that. Just do what he tells you to do, and you'll get the results. So just, improving my physique, I think, seeing what I'm capable of. And you?
After this summer, I'm going to go on a big bulk. I think it's been a while. You know, it's been too long being like this. I'm not small, but I'm not big. And it's always been down to boxing 3 or 4 times a week. So it's hard to build muscle.
Yeah, it's almost impossible to build muscle just doing the boxing, right? That's difficult.
Yeah, so I think I'll put a pause to it for a bit. I'm not going to lose so much skill or anything like this. Just gain 5 or 10 kilos and do the same thing. Just I think if I gain 5 or 10 kilos, if I gain 10 kilos, I get straight back to boxing 4 or 5 times a week, and then I'm also doing weight training. Hopefully, I can maintain some of that muscle. Yeah. And maybe be 5 kilos net. Yeah. Net heavier. I don't know, which will make me look good.
Yeah, just make sure you eat the highest quality foods.
Yeah, indeed.
It's interesting. I'm in a lot of the raw meat spaces, right? Like we kind of been speaking about before. Yeah. And a couple of days ago, I saw one guy I follow on Instagram. He had it just blew me away. He had 1,400 total testosterone. He's not like a big guy.
1,400.
Yeah, 1,300 something, around 1,400. And his free testosterone was also through the roof, right? Okay. And I just simply asked him, like, what are you eating? What are you doing to achieve this? And he's like, just like raw meat, raw dairy, drinking salt water, and that's pretty much what he does.
And you're going to copy him, exactly.
Yeah, I need to try it out. I don't know if it's like the best diet. Some people say the carbs are kind of essential for like your mitochondria and some other aspects, but you also get carbs through the milk, right? So at the same time, would you have to eat grains and that sort of stuff in order to get your carbs? I don't think so.
Well, you can get your energy from fat, no? Because it breaks down in the exact same way. Fat and carbohydrates, they break down into the exact same thing. Yeah. But fat just is a slower release form.
Yeah, but like in terms of the pump in the gym and your performance when you're boxing.
The instant.
Like some sugars are nice, right?
Yeah.
But I think you can achieve that just by eating some fruit and drinking dairy. It's not necessarily have to eat rice and potatoes. So I'm gonna try. I'm gonna go on like the raw meat as well. Maybe still sear the meat, but kind of document it and see what happens in a month. Yeah, haven't really dedicated myself to it yet.
Get your testosterone done beforehand and then after.
Yeah, that would be fun.
I'm thinking of getting mine done either today or tomorrow. Actually.
Nice.
Just down the road.
Correct. What do you pay for that?
I don't know. We'll see, won't we?
All right.
Have you done it before?
No, I haven't. I want to do like a full sort of health checkup, like the full sort of panel, and just see where I'm at. But I've also heard that it doesn't really matter, but because you can change like day to day, like your results.
Yeah, for sure. I've heard it's the highest when you first wake up in the morning. Yeah. So you go throughout the day, maybe you train and stuff.
So in order to actually get an accurate result, you would have to like test multiple times a day for a very long period of time, right?
Yeah, which is not feasible, really.
Yeah, you can't.
They have to take blood, right? So you don't want blood taken.
Yeah, you're not that interested in the levels, but it's good to get an estimation, I guess.
Yeah, for sure. It will give an indication, plus or minus 10%. I think,
yeah.
Which is not bad.
Sure. That's good. But it's also heavily related to sleep and so on.
Yeah. I think sleep's more important than diet, right?
Yeah, it's very important. But in order to get good sleep, you need to have a good diet. So when you eat super anti-inflammatory, when you eat a lot of meat, high-quality foods, you get a lot of nutrition. You pay attention to your circadian rhythm. You make sure that you just have a sort of consistent sleep schedule, and you also track your sleep. Then I'm telling you, like, your sleep quality is gonna skyrocket.
I had to put mine on when I seen you with yours the other day. I was like, fuck, I keep forgetting.
It's important. Like, what's your sort of average sleep quality? Like, how many restorative hours do you get on?
Restorative hours. I only really look at the REM one, the one at the bottom.
You should look at REM and deep in total, both of them.
In total, okay. Yeah, the REM one's usually at 1 to 1.5 hours. I'm not sure if that's good or bad.
Got it. But like, what is it in total with the deep one?
I don't know.
Okay. I mean, around 4 hours is not bad.
I don't look at it so much.
Okay. Around 4 hours is pretty good. Like, my percentage has been pretty crazy lately. It's been like 60% restorative, which is very high. Some nights like 5 hours of restorative sleep. Because you build when you sleep, right?
For sure.
I feel like I'm becoming a bit more of a pussy though, because like I can feel like if I've had like 1 hour less of quality sleep, then I can feel in my body.
This is another thing as well, and a reason why I don't track it so much, because I've heard so many people say that they just become obsessed with it, and when one thing's off, it affects them in the mind. Yeah,
a little bit, I think. Yeah. But it doesn't take you away from doing what you're supposed to do, I don't think.
No.
But like, if my recovery is super bad, like I don't hit the gym, you know, I just rest that day. So I mean, maybe it takes away. I don't know if that's a positive thing or a negative thing, but all right. So unfortunately, the camera died mid-conversation, but it was a pleasure speaking to you, Adam. It was a bit of a short pod, but it was still nice to touch on some topics and spar your mind a bit. I'm sure we'll do it again in the future, but it's
a pleasure, bro.
Pleasure. Thanks for the conversation, and let's do something tonight, I guess.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
You're off. Yeah, thank you. Thanks for having me as well. I guess it's a mutual sort of thing, right?
Indeed.
All right, thanks, guys. Thanks for watching, and enjoy your day.
See you.